Perfect. 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 Perfect.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that, fam? Who that? Who that to the family members in the building? Good to see the family in the live stream on this episode of the Sports Coma. Much love to you and chiming in with you on this beautiful and magnificent Monday. Good to see the beautiful Black and Gold family members chiming in the live stream on this one. Who that to you? Good to see you. Sorry I'm coming at you so late, family. Been dealing with network issues for some time here. I think you guys have been quite well aware that I've been kind of letting people know that I've been kind of having sort of a mini battle with my service provider. But the line, this for the neighborhood, the entire neighborhood was down. So, you know, I came at you as soon as I could. We had a couple of uploads that we had that was available that was supposed to have been uploaded were slowed down. So things like the Pelican post-game report from the Clippers that was supposed to go up, that'll be going up a little late, but it'll be going up nonetheless to all my Pelican post-game report people, because we did the recap show and it's slow posting up. So still feel free to check it out. It came with a preview as well for the Memphis Grizzlies matchup that's due to come on at 5:30 today. So I won't be coming at you. I won't hold you too late, family. I'm going to drop some news on you, some stuff that I was supposed to cover yesterday, but couldn't been able to do it. I took an off day yesterday. It was my oldest son's birthday. I want to wish him a happy birthday to the little man, big ups to him. 13 years of age. We celebrated his birthday yesterday. So, of course, that's why a lot of the simulation was done Saturday night as opposed to Sunday, to leave Sunday open to have that extra time. Family time, of course. Just like to brief the family on some of the stuff that's going on. But much love to the Black and Gold family members in the live stream as well. Good to see you in the live stream family. Who that to your school? Appreciate your patience. Wayne Brady, Mr. Boombastic, JT, Jeremiah. Who that to you, Jeremiah? He says, God is with you on this Monday. Keep on what you're doing. Thank you, Jeremiah. Appreciate your family. Who that to you? Thank you for those sentiments and right back at you. Tragic 504. Who that to you as well, family? Good to see you in the stream as well. My dog Till. What up, Till? My dog Till says Pelican game and sports coma. What a day. My dog Till in the building. Who that to you, Till? Dada. What up, my dog? Big dog Dada in the building. Hit the like button. Thank you, family. Please feel free to hit the like button as well. Sean, what up, Sean? See the Genesis. What's up, fam? Good to see you in the chat as well. Who that to you, my man? Thank y'all. Appreciate you. Mr. Jerry, how you doing, sir? Appreciate you joining us here as well. Thank you, family, for the sentiments. Yeah, 13 years old, man. It's pretty good, man. So I'd like to wish him a warm birthday. Very proud of him as he continue to move further in light, man. You know, I got your back, man. You know, that's what kind of dude I am. But thank the family for joining us on this episode of the Sports Coma, as well as the Saints make the cuts to under 80. I know Scoob appreciated the thumbnail. Break out the big scissors, baby. Get the slicing and cutting it up in this thing. Who that to you, Daquine? Good to see you in the building as well, family. Daquine, who that to you as well. So good to see the Black Gold family members chiming in the live stream on this one. And it's a good day, man. So I got a few items I'm going to come at you guys with on TSC Live. I think it's episode 150 in this thing. So TSC Live episode 550, over 500 shows, over 600 pieces of content, over 5 years of dedicated, diehard, passionate Saint talk. We in the building. So please hit the like button, family, if you hadn't already hit it, as we get ready to kind of move forward on this episode of the Sports Coma. Now, you know, like I said, some of the things I want to talk about today is, of course, the cuts of the supposed cuts that are happen. We're going to break those down. We're going to talk about some other news that we came across. Of course, Cam's comments about Tom Brady's Buccaneers fighting for second place. Matter of fact, I'm going to play a little bit of that as well, that interview from Cam, where he said that on Good Morning Football. We're going to get into that. We're going to watch a little bit of that. And, of course, like I said, I won't hold you guys up very long today. Tomorrow, there'll be TSC Q&A live for our Patreon and YouTube members. Remember, that's at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, family. Please mark your calendars. TSC Q&A live. That's our Patreon-only show. It's at 6 o'clock. Mark your calendars. 6 p.m. Central Time. YouTube members, it's the same thing. So, family, please remember that as we move forward with this. And, of course, Wednesday is our regular Wednesday Saint Talk show. So, no doubt about it. We feeling good about it. Who that to you, Brandon Comier in the building. Good to see your family. All right, family, I'm gonna share my screen with you momentarily, and we're gonna go into the first story here as we talk about the cuts, which a lot of people are kind of thrown off by the cuts. But as you can see, the Saints make the cuts and moves to get the roster to 80 updated. Now, it's off the Rooks, who I give credit for put the thumbnail together. But anyway, the Saints make roster moves to get the cut to 80. And, of course, who's on the cutting list? As you can see, the Saints made several movements to get the roster to 80 players. The team placed Kiko Alonso and Johnson Batamosi, linebacker Kiko Alonso, and cornerback Johnson Batamosi on the physically unable to prepare, physically unable to play list, or aka the PUP list. The Saints didn't release several players to be compliant with the 80-man roster limit per the latest union agreement, and the players released were, and big ups to Arthur for this really good article. He got them all listed. Defensive tackle Taylor Stalwart, which was the last of the cuts, and I was really surprised by Stalwart's addition. But this speaks well of the Saints' thought process on guys like Malcolm Roach and Marcus Hunt, as Taylor Stalwart, once again, does not make the cut. Well, the original 80 getting down to the 80. Stalwart didn't get past that original cut, and I thought he would. Krishawn Hogan's not no surprise. He's not really a surprise about Krishawn Hogan being at the team. Did bring in Ben Fowler to come in and be the wide receiver, and then they're deep there. What was a surprise to me, just like the article read, was Dietrich Nichols, who the Saints got rid of, the XFL cornerback, a bit undersized, but I still like what the kid could have brought to the team. He didn't make the initial cut. I'm surprised by that one. Fullback Ricky Ortiz, not really surprised. You guys know I've been talking about that for a while, but that leaves one fullback in camp, which is Burton. So Burton, does he win the job straight up, or is Dwayne Washington, listen to me on it? Is Dwayne Washington listen to challenge Michael Burton for that fullback position? If he does, he's guaranteed a spot on this team, probably for the next several seasons if he can beat him out. If he can then make the transition, if he even had that thought to even much tell a team. Just my thought. Wide receiver Tommy Lee Lewis, no surprise there's Tommy Lee get the boot. Not surprised, maybe for you, not me. Gus Cumberlander was a long shot, so was Chris Johnson. Adrian McGee was also considered that, and Taquan Mizell was also considered that, with the additions of guys like Tony Jones Jr., the rookie, the undrafted rookie, guys like, who else you had? Ty Montgomery, and, Dwayne Washington's there, very long running room. Taquan Mizell's in the street. And, of course, he could double as a running back or wide receiver, but they just put him in the street. Both of those positions are packed. And then, of course, finally, Maurice Harris, which was a shock to me for Maurice Harris to be put in the street. I thought he had an opportunity to kind of make it a little further in the game. He definitely has more talent, and I think he's faster than Austin and a few other Saints. He's a talented catcher of the ball, but he's put on the street with the initial cuts along with Krishawn Hogan. Two wide receivers put in the street, and two defensive backs put in the street as well. So really interesting cuts to start it off in the mix. So let's keep it going to the next things we talk about. The Sean Payton Saints are planning sequester before week 1. This is brought to you by NFL.com. His fellow professional sports league of saying it is that various sports results from the different restarts amid ongoing pandemic. It's taking notes. Let's say the NFL franchise is taking note and preparing accordingly. The New Orleans Saints are planning something of a bubble for the organization's Tier 1 and Tier 2 employees to voluntarily enter the final weeks before the start of regular season, according to NBC's Peter King. It's not a bubble, Saints coach Payton told King. It's a sequester. The message from the league is the show must go on. If so, we've got to do everything that we can to ensure that happens. Now, according to King, the sequester will take place at the Lowe's Hotel, where the team has contracted 4 floors of the space for its 100 employees that fall under the Tier 1 to Tier 2. And it is 80 players. The goal, lower the risk of someone getting to C-19 as much as possible by offering a safe environment in which they can spend the week leading up to the start of the season. It isn't much different than a home team spending the night before the game in a hotel, save for the fact that the amount of time is much longer. In this unprecedented time, unusual measures might just be necessary to try to compete and succeed. This is my idea of what they're doing as a mini bubble. This is pretty much what it is. Keep players away leading up to the first weeks, and this will go into the season, where they'll extend out some of the time that these players will be away from their families or whatnot, and it'll be competitive and repetitively testing these guys as the season goes on. Now, of course, there was another report that the Saints did get the Lowe's Hotel, which is a nice hotel located in downtown New Orleans, in the CBD, the Central Business District. And basically, it's a mini bubble, in my opinion. They won't say it, but they just their own name. Isn't that what we're do for a living, Peyton said, it's like creating a game plan with the likelihood of success. We're just trying to increase the odds of success. He says Major League Baseball has struggled to contain the C-19 as teams travel from city to city, while NBA is off to a good pace with a few issues related to the C virus. While operating in this bubble, we'll see if other teams adopt the Saints' attempt to create their own happy medium. It's just a bubble they're creating, separating the players from everybody else the best way they could. And you got to give them credit for that. That's why the Saints are spectacular, man. You know, they go up and beyond.
Awesome. Folks, we can go ahead and get started.
Hey, Mike, we know you welcome.
And right there, that was that as soon as I got on there, I was going to play a bit of this conference call from Mike Thomas today. As soon as I damn thing popped on. But anyway, I'm going to save this one, man. As New Orleans Saints receiver Mike Thomas prepared to continue assault on NFL records. We're going to come back to this one. I'm going to play some of the interview from here and some of the interview from Cam Jordan as he was talking about the Tom Brady's Buccaneers fighting for second place in NFC South. Well, matter of fact, we'll play that one first and foremost with Cam talking about on his maybe about three minutes of this interview from Cam talking about the Saints and, of course, his comments made about Tom Brady's Buccaneers fighting for second place. So some of that was here. And just to brief some of the people, that's some of the things that were said during a recent appearance on NFL Network's Good Morning Football. Defensive end Cam Jordan said the Bucs hype is premature and that they're fighting among the other NFC South teams for second place behind the Saints. He says, quote, I do know we have to step up our game. We've got to elevate, Jordan says via NFL.com. They've got the second greatest quarterback of all time right behind Drew. And now we've got a head-to-head 2 times a year. We've got our work cut out for us. And then they have an addition. You bring in Rob Gronkowski and LaShawn McCoy. You already have 2,000-yard wide receivers in Chris and Mike. This team is fighting for second place. Jordan has made a point as the Saints have recorded 3 straight double-digit win seasons and have finished the first place in the division each of the last seasons. The Buccaneers haven't finished first in the division since 2007, a down year in which a 9-7 record was good enough for an automatic playoff bid. This points to New Orleans' consistency, which is directly correlated to the team's chemistry. The Saints' best players have been a part of the same unit for multiple years now, while the Buccaneers are entering a bit of a new era. Buccaneers haven't been to the playoffs since 2007 season. Put that in your mind. So a lot of pressure on this team and haven't recorded a playoff victory since they won the Super Bowl back in 2002. So a lot of dysfunction. That's been a long time of stinking, rotten losing from the Buccaneers. Everyone can agree that Brady and Tampa's new offensive weapons should make the team better, but how much better is the question? We have one answer rather quickly. We may have our answer rather quickly as the Saints and Buccaneers face off in the season opener, September the 13th. So big ups to what they're saying in terms of what Cam's. Let's see what Cam said in his own words off the Good Morning Football. Here's Meg and Cam.
I talked to you about smiling. You do it a lot. You know you have a future in television. You're going to have to show those pearly whites. And the NFL has reached a partnership with Invisalign. They've got a bit of a deal going on. It's, of course, high-tech dental technology. What's your experience with Invisalign, and why might it be good for other top athletes? Let's start there.
When I talk about, my idea of more, when I talk about trying to be better in every facet, when I talk about that 1% better, when we talk about Invisalign and just how you don't have to go through the phase of braces, either way, leave braces out of it. You talk about Invisalign and what it does for you. I ended up using it like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. I'm not sure how that works. But my time with it was, as I was getting older, you sort of felt like the teeth started to get a little tight. In the space in the bottom row, so I started using it. And I started using it as a mouthpiece. It was like low key slick. You couldn't even see it. I mean, it looks like you're just talking regularly. But then, of course, you just talk about the confidence booster and the positive impact that it has while you're playing, while you're talking, and everything. It's correcting your teeth. And especially with the
this is not the right interview, family, but it's good to hear what Cam think about that. But I was looking had this other interview when he was talking about, his Cam Jordan stuff. But listen, this is the Saints are real. We read some of the article. I guess I'll find it if I can. But as you can see, it's several other things that's really nice. You see Emmanuel Sanders decked out in his Saints attire, baby. And he had the number 17 on looking fly. There it is. Emmanuel Sanders, baby. Decked out in Saints attire. Good to see the brother That he looks pretty good in his Saint gear. There you go, number 17 in the building. All right, and of course we're gonna talk about the fact that Cam Jordan rocking his new hair pick, trying to do the Troy Polamalu thing. This dude out of his mind, man. And of course, Drew said yesterday, he, believe it or not, I'm telling you, I have not licked my fingers in 4 months. And it's a montage of Drew Brees competitively licking his fingers. You know, when Drew started licking the fingers, it's time to get ready. We're getting close to a season, baby. Bottom line. So let's move on to the article here. We're going to play some of Michael Thomas' interview from yesterday, and then we'll move on.
We know you don't like to go into specifics of what you do in your preparation, but when you're getting ready for a season, do you add a lot of different things, or do you kind of stay to what you've done that made you successful?
I pretty much stick to what I've done that's made me successful, along with like correcting my weaknesses and trying to enhance those as fast as possible to get them caught up to the things that I'm really good at. And yeah, pretty much at the end of the day, it goes back to just playing football and the game that you've been playing since you were a kid, and just using all your years of experience and knowing right from wrong and just enhance your weaknesses.
Hey, Mike, mentally, have you had to prepare yourself for the fact that this training camp is going to be different from anything you've probably ever been through before?
Nah, I feel like if you love the game and you care about the game, you're going to know when to like lock in and how to handle your business, regardless of the situation you're put in or the things you can't control. You're just going to try to control the things you can't control and go from there. Everyone's in the same boat, so it's just who loves the game more.
Mike, does that mindset apply for having?
What?
Mike being a guy who likes to go through the process and you like all the reps and the OTAs, I guess how much did you miss working out with the team?
I miss it a lot, definitely for sure, but the good thing is we're going to get some time here real soon and just to get caught back up and, just take more advantage and put more emphasis in the reps that you do get and maximize those. I feel like it becomes muscle memory. You just got to find that rhythm. Once you get in that rhythm, just stay there and as long as possible.
Mike, we don't know what the NFL is going to do yet as far as fans, but how difficult will that be for you if fans aren't allowed in games?
As long as we're keeping score, it won't be too difficult. As long as we keep score, win or loser, it won't be too difficult. But it definitely will be different. But just adjusting and focus on what we got to focus on, getting the wins and getting to where we want to go and taking care of one another. And I feel like we'll give ourselves a chance to do things we want to do.
That's some of the Mike Thomas interview, family, that was chimed in. That was done as he talked about. He said I could break it again. I can break the all-time wide receiver single catch record in the season. I can do it again. Remember, prior to Mike Thomas taking down that receiver record, that season before, he was talking about being the first 200 catch wide receiver. And that's the positive thing about having a good memory, that you can be able to go back and span back and reference the time and the things that happened. Prior to him breaking that record, the single season catch record, he said out of his mouth in training camp that he wanted to be the first 200 catch wide receiver. He didn't quite make it there, but he did break the damn record. He owns it, and now he's saying that he can do it again. So, whether we think he can or not, man, he does. So he believes that he could catch it again. He says, yeah, I think I can break it again. Unbelievable if he thinks he could take it down. But the fact of the matter is that 470 catches in the first 4 years of his career, that is outer-worldly, and that is the NFL record. 470 catches is documented here, and this is NewOrleansSaints.com. Thomas holds NFL records for receptions for the first 2, 196, 3, 321, and 4, 470. See, I knew about the 470. The 196 is icing on the cake, So in 2 seasons, he has more. In just 2 seasons, he has more catches than anybody. In 3 seasons, he has more catches than anybody. In 4 seasons, he damn sure has more catches. It's just amazing, man. How could we even much think about anybody else being better than Mike? He's blowing out the rest of the competition. 470 catches. He has almost 100 catches more than his closest adversary for receptions within the same span of time that he's been in the league, and that's Deandre Hopkins, who had 386, I want to say. 386. Something like that. I had the graphic. We created it. But that just goes to show you how fantastic this kid is and all the positive things that he can do, man. I mean, absolutely, just absolutely mind-blowing, to say the least, about what Mike Thomas could bring. The Saints are saying the right things and doing the right things as it stands. And when it comes down to it, what could we see here now? Everybody's saying the right stuff. I love what the Brady saying. I mean, not what Brady. What Cam said about Brady and the Buccaneers fighting for second place, because that's true. They haven't won a goddamn thing yet. Who that to you, Javier? Good to see the rest of the family members tuning in as well. Sad Scott, who that to you? 985J in the building. What up, 985? Good to see you as well, family. Who that to you? And everybody's on the same page. Drew's on the same page. What he was saying, what was that, Saturday? During Saturday Saint Talk, we played several interviews from Teron Armstead, Drew Brees, and Cam Jordan, all saying the same stuff. Drew, attacked some of the stuff that he was saying early on, is the stuff that happened in the offseason. He laid it out. Everybody's past it, and now we focusing on the thing we're supposed to be. The Saints proactively getting behind it. They're doing a sequester, which is basically a mini bubble to keep their players away from in an isolated environment before gameplay actually occur, and continue to test over and over again. So that's proactive, and of course they'll copy what the Saints do, because the Saints are trailblazers. When you're a trailblazing person and you don't have time to be looking backwards. You're too busy blazing forward. And of course, you're leaving a lot of people in your distance, in your stead. And then the only thing they do is just copy what you do. That's what the Saints do. They are a trailblazing team, and they always do. And everybody copying what the Saints want to do and be. They emulate their offense, defense, all of that. The Saints they are the pinnacle of football stuff right now, and what needs to happen is, in a regular season anyway, the playoffs, that's a different matter. That's a whole other different matter. Derek, what up, DL? Good to see Derek in the chat as well. Derek Lockett, who that to you, fam? William Dickerson, good to see you in the chat as well. William, he says Jackson Heights own Randy Watson people. What up, fam? Who that to you, Ryan? Good to see Ryan in the building. Who that to you, Ryan? Welcome to the live stream, bro. Thank you for joining us today on this Monday. Now, family, like I said, I won't keep you guys long. I was coming at you late. We had all kind of problems with our, with the Wi-Fi being down in the area. But, it's c'est la vie. We're here now. But moving forward, it's excellent to see a lot of the great things that the Saints are doing and moving forward. Now, let's bounce back to the list that we had before, where we talked about the cuts of several players, so the Saints can kind of get underneath that 80-man roster limit. Of course, a lot of that was set to be happening for August the 4th, but the new information came out is that they were kind of moving the dates up because of the agreements and things of that kind of stuff that was going on. So the Saints proactively moving on with several other teams to get below that 80-person limit. And of course, some of the guys put on the street, we know Kiko Alonso and Johnson Batamosi were both put on the PUP list. We know Taylor Stalwart, the defensive tackle who made the team several years ago, was one of my favorite roster guys. He made the team. Krishawn Hogan is not a surprise to me. Krishawn Hogan's not a surprise, but Maurice Harris is. Maurice Harris is a surprise. I thought that Maurice Harris would make the squad. He didn't. And that surprised the hell out of me. Dietrich Nichols, the XFL cornerback, who I thought had an opportunity to play, being that the Saints could use, an opportunity to see what he can do. They need help in the defensive backfield. It doesn't give me any peace of mind knowing that Nichols, who was a veteran, could come in and help, but the rest of the guys who you kept were undrafted guys, which I don't know about that. I would have thought you would have got rid of one of them undrafted cornerbacks and kept Nichols because he has some experience, because defensive back is an issue, especially if one of the top three go down. If we have an issue, if all of them, the top three stay healthy for the entire season, you don't have a problem. But if one of the three, and I don't care who they are, go down, then you have issues. Because Patrick Robinson is not a good nickel guy. He's not. And you prefer him as a dime, so if he can't guard their fourth best wide receiver, they don't need to be on the field. But the reality is, I don't feel confident about that. Not at all. I thought, you would want to see what a guy like Nichols could do. But it's just, I don't know. It's just very strange. Why would you get rid of Nichols? Fullback Ricky Ortiz, not surprised by that. Not surprised by the third wide receiver being cut, Tommy Lee Lewis. Gus Cumberlander, not surprised by that. Neither about Chris Johnson or Adrian McGee or Taquan Mazel, not surprised about that. The two that really kind of shocks me is I'm surprised that Stalwart didn't make the cuts. I'm damn sure surprised that Maurice Harris didn't make the cuts. Well, you can factor in, and Arthur Rook says in an article here that he think is because of 6-year wideout Benny Fowler signing to the team, because that could possibly be it. But why not keep both? Why not have Maurice Harris and Benny Fowler along and release somebody else? But we knew they would put Krishawn Hogan in the street. He really didn't stand out too much like they would expect him. But the cornerback position is something else, because if one of your cornerbacks go down, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. I don't have faith in Patrick Robinson or PJ Williams for that matter. So I know Chauncey Gardner played a slot. He can move into a second corner position with the Jackrabbit if Marshawn goes down. But any of one of those three go down, you're gonna have to rely on Patrick Robinson or PJ Williams again, or one of these undrafted guys. And do you really think one of these undrafted guys will beat out a guy like PJ Williams, who keeps coming back no matter how many mistakes he makes? He keeps coming back, and I just can't figure that part of the game. Really can't figure that part of the game. But it's interesting, man, to say the least, and we'll figure it out, man, to see exactly how this thing here gonna go. I don't know how it's gonna go. But anyway, big ups to the family members chiming in this year as well. James, good to see you, James. Van Corf in the building says, I'm concerned about this season if we're gonna have a good season. With everyone opting out, I'm across the board and want to see everyone at full strength. No counterfeit season, no excuse if we win it all. That's right. And that would definitely be the thing. If the Saints did win it, they'll say that, oh, you only won because of the C-19 stuff. I don't give a rat's ass what they say. They're going to always say something. They're going to say it. When I first Super Bowl, people say, oh, you only won because you was playing Peyton Manning, who's from New Orleans. He wanted to see you win. They say all kind of foolishness, bro. Only thing that matters is that we hosting the Lombardi. It don't matter to me. William Dickinson still can't believe they let D. Nichols go so soon. Yeah, that is very puzzling to me, that Nichols is in the street. Why not somebody else? You need every advantage you can get with the defensive backs. I'm not completely sold. They keep trying to resurrect. It's like when you go to the supermarket and you see old meat. You see old damn meat in the freezer. That what they repurpose it, they just go back there and inject it with fresh blood and then put it back out there for you. I'm like, man, come on, bro. How much we gonna keep? You gonna keep propping up PJ Williams in front of us and say, look, we got him, we reconditioned him, he back. It's just absolutely in shame. Nichols is a guy that's a ball hawk. He might have been a bit undersized, but Nichols, above all people, had an opportunity to step up and show what the hell he could do. At least at the very little of it. I mean, come on now. Come on. Absolutely. It's ridiculous. All right. Good to see Stunner TBOTB. Who that T? Say, hey, big dog, what's going on? Who that to your family? Good to see you in the chat. I'm chilling, bro. All is well, my man. Good to see you doing well, my friend. Appreciate you. James says, I am really loving our roster with the addition of Nigel Bradham. I compare us to elite teams that we may face, and we are beginning to stack up well. I really would like Clowney or Griffin 1 year. I agree. Either one of those guys. And it just two things. If two things I would like them to do. Number one, get one of those pass rushers, and number 2, get another defensive back. Kirkpatrick, Talib, either one of those guys. Either one of those guys. Bring a veteran, Logan Ryan. I don't care what you do, but those two. Because if something go awry with either of your cornerbacks, you're going to have issues, and something go awry with any of those injury-prone defensive linemen not named Cam Jordan, the DEs, you're going to be in trouble again. So why play games? Go get those guys, because you can free up the money right now. Why are we still holding on to Nick Easton? How you put Nichols in the street but keep Easton? See, that kind of dumbery, that kind of foolhardiness, it pegs my mind, because you're not supposed to have this guy, and you're going to end up cutting him anyway when the 53 come. Why not put him on the street right now? You got enough depth at the offensive line position to cover him. Put him on the street and go get one of them guys that you need to play defensive end. Stop trying to be a cheap man with it and say, we're going to just do it anyway. I know the dude's stubborn, bro, but when you hear something right, incorporate it into your philosophy. Whether you came up with it or not, take it and use it, man. All right, let's thank you for that, James. Ron says, I agree 100%. Sass Scott says Nichols was a ball hawk. No doubt about it, bro. The guy was a guy that he had a nose for the ball. He was undersized, but he had the right mentality. It is unfathomable that they would put him on the street and not PJ Williams. It's unfathomable. How do you make sense of putting Nichols on the street versus PJ Williams or any one of the undrafted guys? I like the one from the guy from West Virginia. I like the guy from Maryland. But come on now. You got a short amount of time here, and Nichols is familiar with the pro game. So how do you put him on the street? And he wasn't hurt. So you can miss me on that one. It's just, questionable decision making like that, man. I'm telling you, we know where the problem is. The problem in terms of where we need the depth the most. You can't play around with edge rusher, and you got really good ones out there right now. Pick one. And then as far as cornerbacks out there, you have really good veteran cornerbacks that can play anywhere between the 2 on back. You got Logan Ryan, who, if you have a number 1 that go down, can play number 1 for you. He was one of the top NFL 100s that was named this year, and he don't have a team to play for. Or he wants some money. If he wanted $4 million or even $5 million, that's more. That's $1 million more, a million less than what you're paying Nick Easton. You can't justify that. Nick Easton's still on this goddamn team. You can't justify that, man. How he didn't make the initial round of cuts is beyond me, and freed up the money so that you can go get one of these other guys. It's beyond me. Okay, let's keep it going. Gundam, what up to you, Gundam? Good to see you in the chat. JT, big ups to you. Javier, who that to you, says, is The Rock really taking over the XFL? I read the report. It is true. Rock and his investment team, I think it's called Red Hawk or Red Rock or whatever it's called. They bought the XFL for $15 million. So they're going to repurpose it and come back out at some time, some point, somewhere. So yes, The Rock and his investment group, along with guys like Garcia and used to play Jeff Garcia and other people, other investors, I have purchased the XFL for $15 million. So yes, Javier, that is true. Per reports from ESPN and Yahoo Sports as well. So it is true. Dada, who that to you, my man? Dada, big ups to you. If I ain't say what up to you, fam. JT said this is a part of our new NFL. People who you would think should be on won't be the younger guy with the skills. Crazy. The money, if they're thinking money, they're thinking all this other stuff. It's a whole nother kettle of wax. But you'll be hard pressed to figure out and find anybody, and I mean anybody, man, that can make sense of why Nichols isn't on the team versus removing one of these other guys off. He's a young veteran, ball hawk. You say, well, he's a smaller cornerback. We want bigger cornerbacks. Well, you knew his size before you signed him, and so I just don't get it, man. We'll see though. All right, we'll see big time. Thank you for that, JT. Gundam, once again, who that to you, Saskai? Say, hope Nichols gets the practice squad. We'll see. It's a while before we pick up that practice squad, but a lot of people was put in the street. Derek says, Javier, he's $15 million, yes, but he has partners. Uncle Paul, hey, what up, Uncle Paul? Good to see you in the live chat, my friend. Dada says, Del Home in the building. Michael Rios, hoot up to you. Michael, good to see you. Who that to you, fam? Ryan says PJ Williams should be gone. Said it, Brian. Appreciate that. 2 years ago, PJ Williams should have been gone years ago. Years ago, he should have been gone. He found a niche at the safety. People say, oh, he could play safety. We've been saying that on this show. Years ago that PJ Williams is not a cornerback, that he's a safety. What I don't understand is how you could be right up on him coaching the man, see that he's struggling at the cornerback position, but don't tell the cornerback coach or the secondary coach, don't say to himself or his coaches, you know what? Let's try PJ. Let's do a position change with PJ Williams to see what he looks like. Last year, they was forced to do it because injuries forced them to do it. Remember, it was him and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for the entire month, the last month before the playoffs started, because Von Bell and Marcus Williams was hurt. They was gone. And then when the playoffs started, that was one of the problems that they had. I was like, listen, in the preview leading up to the Minnesota game of last year, I said, go back and check the footage. I said, man, I sure hope that they don't put Marcus Williams and Von Bell in the starting lineup, Hopefully they start Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and PJ Williams at safety, and then put Marcus Williams and Von Bell to back them up to get their reps. You know what they did? They started them right away, and they looked terrible out there. They were cold as cucumbers, sticking them in the playoff game. Stupid ass decision. Dumb ass decision. Excuse my French. But they should know better. You're supposed to be intelligent. You got to understand that those guys were riding the wave. They were playing well at the safety position together. You do not pull them out and put two guys that were hurt for the last month in the playoff game and expect them to show out in the playoff game. Even though PJ got burnt toward the end of the game, everybody looked lethargic and ridiculous, starting with the coach who looked like he drank a bucket of Prozac. He had no energy, no effort, didn't care. They were screwing up all the place. And he's sitting there like this was supposed to happen. You know, he's sitting there like it's all a dream and he's going to wake up from it. It was just ridiculous, man. All right. Who that to the family? Ryan says, thank you, Ryan, for that comment anyway. Thank you. All right. Let's keep it going here. Let's see. Marcos, who that to you, Marcos? Good to see your family. Says, you think they might get another cornerback? That's why they let Nichols go. Well, it got to the 80-man limit, bro. That's what it was about. You know, so it could possibly be they can do that moving forward. But you got to also remember too, is that, you know, the C-19 stuff makes it a lot more complicated, because if you're going to put a player that wasn't in your bubble, and they're not calling it a bubble, they're calling it sequestering it, which is keeping things separated here. That's what they're saying. So if you're going to take a player who you don't know and bring them into it, you're going to have to go through a layer of medical checks and all that kind of stuff, besides the physical and all that, to make sure this player is safe enough to bring inside your bubble. So it's extra several layers of protection from a health perspective to bring that player into your team and into your team's environment. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't bring a player that might have something and then mess up your whole deal there. So it could possibly be, but you would rationalize and think, even though they had enough time to know that there was going to be rattlings, because there was an article that we were covering about the fact that they were thinking about lowering the roster from 90 to 80 players a week before it actually happened. So if we knew that in a week and a half, they knew it. They have to have known it longer than that. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is they had plenty enough preparatory time to digest that, and not only that, but make moves. And the thing is, they did make moves, and they could have done it with the defensive end and the cornerback position. They brought in another wide receiver, even though we didn't feel like they needed another wide receiver. They brought in another wide receiver on top of the linebacker. So you have Benny Fowler, and then you had Nigel Bradham that came into the team. So if that was indeed the case, you had enough time to be able to do the same thing with Fowler and Bradham that you could have done for a guy like a Griffin or Logan Ryan or Talib or anybody else. You see what I'm saying? They just didn't look at it. And once again, they continue to say to themselves that we fine at the defensive end position. We're going to keep seeing it. It's like I keep saying, man, over and over again. I went back and looked up the old virus of 1918, just to look what life was like. Same stuff over and over again. Almost like you can take the pictures of the people that were sitting at the football games with stuff on their face, with coverings on their face. Same stuff. Like this never happened before. Oh yes, it did. And I keep telling people about history and how things operate in cycles, but we don't be paying attention to the stuff, understanding that how stuff happens in cycles. And every now and again, you'll get this feeling like deja vu, like, oh, man, didn't I been here before? I remember this same situation occurring here. Everybody experienced it. But what I'm saying in terms of this is some people don't get it until it happened to them again, until they keep smashing them in the face, until they understand, man, hold on, I've been here before. I gotta do something different. Because if you don't, you'll keep living that loop all over again, over and over again. And I'm just saying these grooves happen, and it just happens. Like everything works in cycles. Nature works in cycles. That's just how organic, the natural rhythm of things operate. The planet rotates in cycles. You know what I'm saying? It rotates. And so we do get caught up in the grooves and the stuff like that. And if we can catch it and say, man, I ain't doing that because I know where that leads at, you'll go down that road again and make the same mistakes. So, I mean, the Saints, hopefully that won't be a scenario with the Saints where they go down that road, not understand. Listen, we've been in this. We did this last year when you didn't bring in anybody to try to deal with the defensive end position. Davenport once again went down again. And so did Trey Hendrickson. Go back and listen to the tape of me fussing during training camp. Oh, we gonna put Trey Hendrickson up here? We been doing this. Trey Hendrickson, man, he ain't gonna... Oh, Q, come on. And then what happens? What I say? Because I done seen this before. I done seen this movie. Got to change the channel on it. But that's what it is, fam. Hopefully that's not the situation. Slick Rick, what up to you, fam? Good to see you. The Sad Side says, are we going more to a 3-4 this season? No, they are going to do the 4-3 as the base defense. They're going to run that 4-3 and that modified nickel more. Although Dennis Allen did say the 3-4 is a part of his defensive scheme, although he doesn't use it much. But he can roll it out if he needed, but the base defense is 4-3 for the Saints. The modified nickel will be used a lot. Thanks for the question, Sascott. Thank you. Who that nation? Who that to you? Who that nation? Good to see you, family. What up to you? Thank you for joining us today, my friend. Appreciate you. William Dickerson says, come on, Saints brass, the chess, not checkers. Thank you, fam. I couldn't have said it any better than that. Marco says Griffin would be a good choice. I agree. Joe Gidry. What up, Joe? Good to see you, fam. Welcome to the chat. JT says they will bring him back, Nichols. They will bring him back, Nichols, the corner. Okay, I hope so. Dada says, a teenage love, don't hurt me again. Somebody bringing it back. That's old school, man. See, I remember all that, man. Who that nations? Are we doing fantasy league this year? Who that job? I hear you, Ricky. You would want fantasy to come back, wouldn't you, Ricky? Huh? So you can have bragging rights again, huh, Ricky? Who won the fantasy league, by the way, family? I forget, man. Who won the Sports Coma Fantasy League this year? I mean, last year. And we'll be doing it again, Ricky. We're gonna be doing it again, bro. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna let the family members know. It's pretty deep. It's a 20-team fantasy league. 19 spots will be available. We had fun last year. I think the prize was $100. And the runner-up got $50. The winner got $100. The runner-up got $50. We'll be doing it again. So just be keeping a lookout on the community section of the page. I'll let you know. Derek says, Big Q, all that hyping we did for Nichols and they cut him. I know, bro. It's the same stuff last year when we was hyping up Emmanuel Butler and LaJordan Humphrey and the running back from the Jaguars, and they put him in the street. You know, they put these guys in the street and they survived the signing from other teams, and then they put them on the practice squad. But all those guys that was doing fine, they put them in the street. Devine Zigbo, they put him in the street, but he ain't come back. Jacksonville claimed him. So, I mean, it'll be more of the same similar stuff we got going on, and they talked about him and put him in the street the first cut team. He made the first goddamn cuts. I mean, come on now. Thank you for that, Derek. All right, Dominic, who that to you, Dominic? Good to see you, family. Iceman, what up, Iceman? Good to see you. Uncle Paulie says, hey, Big Q, he says, is this Elvin Kamara's new contract business taking the Saints so long to work out? I don't know what's going on with that, Uncle Paulie. The new rules kind of kick against the players holding out. It gives more of the power to the team, for them holding out like a Le'Veon Bell did. So it don't profits him to hold out. So he'll look like he'll play this season and then expect to get paid, and I think that, and I'm one of the people that say that he's definitely going to get paid. That's just my opinion, man. I think he's going to get paid. Thank you, Uncle Paulie. JT said that was your exact words. I thank you, JT. Tori Shepard, who that to you, Tori? Good to see you, fam. Pelican Nola said the Saints need a running back that will close the game in the fourth quarter. They have him. They got him. His name is Latavius Murray. They got him. They got to use him. He's the closer. They got to put him. Thank you, Sad Scott. Appreciate you, bro. He said black and gold till I'm cold. Thank you for your super chat, my friend. Appreciate you. Who that to you? Thank you, Sad Scott. All right, fam, let's keep it going. Hear me exhaust the chat here. Scoop says, Q is reported Saints will play game one without a crowd. Will we gain an advantage by having a strong nucleus? I think so, bro. Because Cam spoke about that the other day. He says they're preparing like every game is a away game. And that's the right mentality to have. Because when you start playing and you get caught into the game, like if you're playing basketball per se, let's say you got 50 people watching you play basketball at the court, at the public court prior to the C-19 stuff, right? And everybody waiting for their chance to play. And they got 20, 30, 40 people on the sidelines just chilling, watching the game. It's a real good game. And like a lot of people watching the game, but when you get caught up in the flow of the game, in the vibe of the game, you forget people watching you. You just be out there trying to compete and win. And I think to a degree at first it'll start off like that, but eventually the players, like the Saints, will keep to it and focus on the winning of the game. And ultimately I think that's what occurred. But Cam said it best, that they go into each game with an away game mentality coming into the season, and that can be beneficial. Thank you, School, for that question. All right, let's keep it going. Sat Scott said, when an extra game on the schedule, didn't they change it from 53 to... No, they didn't change the active roster to 53. They modified the practice squad from what it was to 16 spots, and then they changed the injuries. Like if you have players that go on injury, then after week 3, they eliminated that you can bring back as many players as you need from the practice squad. So that's the adjustments they made. They didn't touch the 53. That was one of the things that I was looking out for too. I wanted to see what they were going to do with that as well. But that's what happened. Thanks for that statement right there, fam. Sad Scott. Jermaine, who that to you, Jermaine? He says that's BS. We're not solid at defense. I know, bro. We are not solid at defensive end. But the reality is that's what I've been saying for the last several years. I've been saying that. And we haven't been solid. And when they had Davenport and Okafor playing on the team at the same time, Okafor was like Davenport. He would play well and then he was hurt. Then Davenport put his Okafor shirt on and started doing that. My thing is, I don't have an issue with Granderson or Trey Hendrickson. These guys are unproven. Trey Hendrickson will ball and look good in camp, then get into the season and disappear. He'll get hurt and then miss games. Come back, play a little bit, then get hurt and miss games. Trey Hendrickson is just, I don't know if his body can stand up to the rigors of the NFL. And he gets hurt as a backup. He's not even starting a lot of minutes, and he's more fragile than Davenport in that respect. That's what I'm saying is some of these guys are built for it. Everson Griffin's body's built for the rigors of the NFL. He's started all those games, and he's not only can play, but he's productive in these games. That's what I'm saying. Why are you trying to cultivate these guys or try to make them be something that they're not? By now, you know who Hendrickson is. Trey Hendrickson ain't going to come out and get you 10 sacks in the season. You know that's not going to happen. You be lucky to get 6 games out of Trey Hendrickson. You'll be lucky to get 6 of them out of him. It's what it is, man. But I agree with you that, bro. We're not solid at defensive end, but they feel like they are. And I've been saying that for a while, family. True. I'm telling y'all 100% facts. I've been saying it. Joe says, big question. If this seat thing is still around when the playoffs get here, do you think the NFL will news that will news that to its advantage to knock the Saints off once again? Just a thought. They don't like us. You never know, bro, with the NFL and how it goes. But, I've been on record and I've said that I do believe there'll be some sort of stoppage around November, because a lot more other stuff is going on than I could talk about on here. And if you really want to know what I really think, sign up for patreon.com/the PRO Media Network and listen to On Q with Big Q. Derek, Tori, Scoob, and several other great Saint Think Tank family members are members of that. They listen to the show. They hear all the shows, you know, so you can listen to it. I played interviews, facts, and all that kind of stuff behind it. But there, in my opinion, there's going to be a stoppage because there's a lot going on that people just don't know about, man. They just don't know about. And it's larger than this. And man, wait till y'all hear the new episode of On Q Big Q coming out, man, on Sunday. Not Sunday. It'll be out before Friday. Wait till you hear that one. Wait till you're going to get your head knocked off in that one. You're going to blow your top. All right, let's keep it going. Dada says, I don't believe the Saints will be done with the move. I still believe a vet cornerback is on the way. Keep your eyes out for a player like Tremaine Johnson. That's interesting. The Saints went after Tremaine Johnson before, but he rebuffed the Saints. He is out there, but I think he stays inside because he wants big money. And I don't think he played well when he was with the Rams, but he has yet to duplicate that kind of success with anybody else. The Jets took an opportunity to sign him and he bottomed out for them. And he's not balking on his acting prices. So Tremaine Johnson, I don't know, bro. Although I do like his talent, he wants way too much money for what he did in the past. And it's just not a good fit for us. He need to lower his asking price. And I think the Saints had several other cornerbacks they could have went after. Really good veteran guys they could have brought after. But are they dealing with the fact that they're misseeing these guys, or perhaps we are? Are we wrong about the defensive end position? Are Davenport, Trey Henderson enough? Are we wrong about the cornerback position? Is P.J. Williams and Patrick Robinson enough? Are we wrong? Because nobody's correct all the time. But we could be wrong about the Saints. These could be years when they step up and actually play the entire year, you know, or they could be right in this situation. What you think? You know what the hell I think. What you think? All right, family, good to see that. Rest of the family chiming in as well. Derek says it's going to be like Peyton on the road, and we played pretty good on the road. Mr. Bombassi, my game 1 tickets were canceled. They're now offering single game luxury box tickets. Maybe we can all go in on one. Taurus giving shout out to everybody. Pelican Nola say I agree. Who that to Mr. Box? I see you, fam. Capman in 2020. What's good with you, family? Good to see you in the live stream. Been a minute, my friend. Good to see you. Scoop says, should we win the chip? During the pandemic compromise season? Will Drew's second Lombardi be considered tainted? I don't think so, bro. I don't think so at all. I think it'll still be considered a Super Bowl ring. No doubt about it. I still say it'll be a Super Bowl ring regardless. And of course, my question is, once we win it, the next following year, does Drew come back to defend it like John Elway did in his final 2 seasons? He won 2 Super Bowls, then retired during the back end of his career. So perhaps we can have an Elway type breeze moment here. That would be special. Pastor Williams, what's up, Pastor Williams? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. He says, bruh, as much as I like Davenport, we might need to move on from him. I hear you, Pastor. You might have to lay hands on him, brother. Might have to pray that injury spirit away from him, please. JT says, I'm tired of you being right. No, bro. No, sir. No. It's just, you know what, bro? You just see that you just know this team. This is your team. You know your team. You know your team. You know your team. You know their flaws. You know their pluses, their minuses. You know you just know this team. 30 years you've been throwing. 30 years you can master a lot of things. You can learn a lot of things when you constantly get behind it. So I just know this team, man. I just know this team. Thank you, JT. Appreciate you. Derek says he came in 3rd in the fantasy league. Okay, D. Joe once again giving a shout out. A Zigbo, thank you, JT. Sean says only because the Saints have been knocking at the door for the past 3 years. Trey Joseph, who that to you, Trey? Don't give up on Davenport. Remember, Cam didn't really turn it on until 3 or 4. That's right. I think it was 4th year. Cam stunk. That's when I called him flat top Cam back then. He looked like a bust because people comparing Cam's development to J.J. Watt, and J.J. Watt took off like a rocket. And Cam was back there. So it took Cam a while before he kicked on too. But Cam wasn't dealing with the injuries that a Davenport has. Cam was playing, but Cam just didn't, he just wasn't making any, you know what I'm saying? No headway. The issue with Davenport is he has the talent, and when he's on, if he had 6 sacks last year, imagine what he could have looked like if he would have played the entire season. He could have finished with 8 or above sacks. He could have had maybe 8 to 9 sacks last year had he had played, because he was turning it on. But Cam never had the injuries that this guy has. This guy has injuries, and then his injuries knock him off the field of play for weeks on end. And sometimes they knock him off for the duration of the season, and you can't really have that with a guy that you counting on as your second best pass rushers, if you know what I mean. But you're right on that. He does deserve time, and he'll get his time, bro. But I just want him to if we can cut the injury bugs out. And the reason I'm saying other veterans, because he's so injury plagued. Remember, this guy was hurt at Utah, at University of Texas at San Antonio. He was hurt there. When the Saints drafted him, they ain't won't tell you, but he was hurt right after they drafted him. He had minor surgery. Remember that? Then in the camp, he was hurt. Then when he came out, he was finally cleared to play. He played and got hurt again. Remember? Then he played, got hurt again, and he was done. Then he came back the next year healthy. Then some people say he was still rehabbing a bit. He was 100, played some games, then got hurt again. So, I mean, it was like, you're going to get hurt because it's physical. But his injuries take him off the field of play, and that's unfortunate. That's why I say we need insurance. We can't have him getting hurt because he's too important. The Saints spent 2 first-round draft picks to acquire this kid. So he has to be there because they understand they need that pass rush opposite of Cam. If he's not giving them the pass rush, and they got to use guys like Carl Granderson or Trey Hendrickson who can't seem to get it done, this could be problematic. That's why there's the talks of Griffin and Clowney, because they saying, listen, we can't afford him and have another season where he's not there. We need his production, or his contribution. Let's just say that. Thank you for that, bro. All right, William says, Trey, nobody giving up on Deport. Let's be honest. Can the guy stay healthy? All I'm asking, bro. That's the thing. And usually we can't answer that question, right? We can only hope and pray that he does. But the reality is all we can do is get insurance, like people that drive around on the road. We don't want nobody run into us in our vehicle. But just in case what runs into us, we got insurance to cover it just because in case they don't have it. You see what I'm saying? Insurance works. I'm just telling you, it works. And Griffin would be insurance for Davenport if he's not there. Just like Nigel Bradham is insurance for Kiko Alonso and all these other guys. You know what I'm saying? We need that insurance, and we can't be caught without insurance. Last year, we didn't have no insurance, and it cost us, We'll see. Thank you. Appreciate that, William, for breaking that down. Ron says definitely got to use Murray more. Paul says, hey, Q, Sheldon Rankins, Davenport, Hendrickson, and Anzalone have proven to not be durable. So why Onyemata and Brown and Tuttle are not being pushed up more? The upside is Davenport. The Sheldon Rankins things, these are first-round draft picks. Davenport and Sheldon Rankin are first-round draft picks, which the onus is on production with first-rounders. That's just what it is. So, of course, Sheldon Rankins will receive more publicity or attention from the team than an Onyemata, who was a 4th-round selection out of Canada who worked his way up through the ranks. They seen Sheldon Rankins as a hit day one. That's the first. You carry that first-round tender, that first round name right, or that attached to your name, that comes with a certain level of scrutiny. And Rankins and Davenport have all that scrutiny. Alex Anzalone, not so much, because he was a 3rd-round pick. But nonetheless, the Saints have elevated him into starter level and even have a mindset of putting him at the middle to play the middle linebacker. They see him as the play caller and the leader of the defense. That comes with a certain onus. So it's not like they're a role player that's coming in to situate to come in to do this, that, and third. Onyemata and Brown are quality starters, no doubt about it. But that first-round ranking that comes with Sheldon Rankins, Title, and Davenport comes with that heightened scrutiny to it. So that's why my perception, why people are paying more attention to them. But all those guys need to show up. Those are 3 really crucial defensive players. If they're not hurt, your defense is going to have problems. Sheldon Rankins does provide a asset, because if you take Sheldon out and put Onyemata in, that keeps the ball rolling. It's like having starters all the time, as opposed to there's no drop in production with Onyemata. Usually when you put a reserve in there, there's a drop in production from the reserve to the starter. You see what I'm saying? And let's say the space from most people when they put in the reserve is this much, it drops. In the Saints, it's like this, because when the reserve comes out, the starter comes out, the reserve cycles in, the production doesn't drop. It's Onyemata is a starter quality defensive tackle if he's rotating with Sheldon Rankins. So it's like you lose your reserve is still a starter and you still get that same amount of production. That's why they're so good. Because most of the people like Shy Tuttle and the way he comes into the lineup, he's totally fresh. When you have a guy that's not playing that much and he's playing a certain amount of snaps, when he gets an opportunity to play and come in there, he's going to be a wildebeest. And the Saints have done a good job of addressing the interior defensive line, in my opinion. Cap Manny says we need a corner. I agree. Let's see here. What's going on with Mr. Box? All his messages is being deleted. I don't know what's going on with you, Mr. Box. Every time you try to say something, his messages are being deleted. Now I have to check on that. Scoop says, Q, I really believe the defensive line shortcomings last season were the result of not having a healthy Sheldon. That could be the case, Scoop. Very well, bro. I definitely agree with you. It could have been. Because when Sheldon Rankins comes out, there is a drop, regardless of how you want to look at it. Because you have Sheldon and Onyemata working well together, but one leaves, then there is a bit of a drop to the next guy, and you might have a Shy Tuttle come in. But when Shy comes in, he has to play more snaps. That takes away from that impactfulness that he was used to having when he was just the third cycling guy. You see what I'm saying? When you move in and move up, you got to get used to playing more increased snaps, as opposed to if you say you was playing 15 times in a game and then the guy gets hurt and you come in and you got to play 40 more times. That can impact your game. We don't think about it like that, but that's the case. That's what having a deep rotation is about. If you can keep guys around a certain niche, you realize if this guy will be super productive if we keep him within this certain amount of snaps. The Saints know that. They are quite the analytic people when it comes down to monitoring snaps and stuff like that. Remember, Cam Jordan said that last year before the season started, that the Saints were using analytics to peel back his playing time to keep him fresh and productive. He didn't agree with that. Do y'all remember that? I played that interview from y'all. And I played that interview from y'all when he didn't agree. It's like, man, all this analytics stuff, man, I don't get down with all, you know what I'm saying? I just want to play. They're talking about taking my snaps away and keeping it down to a certain degree to keep you from getting healthy and all, or from hurt and all this kind of stuff. That's what he said. Scoop says, Q, I read that. Trace says, I feel you, William. Cam health has always been just minor problems, which has been prices. I'm waiting for one full season before I can label them a major bust. Paul says, I just think the Saints need to cut bait with these players that will not stay healthy during the season. They still have faith. All those guys, they're not going to cut those guys. Sheldon Rankins and Alex Anzalone and Davenport, they're not going to put them guys in the street. They got too much invested in them. They're going to want to see what these guys can do this year. They're not going to put those guys in the street because if healthy, those guys can help elevate your team to a Super Bowl, defensively speaking. So, I mean, they could really help. All right, appreciate that. SC Sascott says, have Dre Kirkpatrick sign anywhere? I don't think so. I checked that yesterday. I think he's still out there. So, the Falcons signed Denard, the former Bengal, but Kirkpatrick's still out there. Thanks for the question, that Sascott. Derek says they have more than a few good cornerbacks and free agents. I'm saying they're deep. So 2 starting level defensive end edge rushers, good depth after that. And then the cornerbacks, they have a bevy of different guys, starting with Logan Ryan on down to guys like was mentioned here. Tremaine Johnson's in that mixture. Got Talib is in that mixture. You got Morris Claiborne. And Kirkpatrick is another guy. They have a bevy of really talented cornerbacks that can help you. Let's see. Cap Manny says, I think they play very well together in Philly. Scoop said, "What you think?" You. Okay. Let's keep it going. He said, "Why ain't wrong with?" He says, "We ain't wrong on the corners." LOL. PJ sucks. Okay. Good to know I ain't by myself on that. All right, okay. Rich wants to know the number. We're not doing any call-ins, Rich, on this show tonight because I'm not going to stay very long. I'm just going to go through the rest of the chat, and that'll be the show. But if you want to catch on with us We'll come back. We'll be doing the TSC Q&A show tomorrow night. I might do a show tomorrow around 12. Come back out. So just hit the alert button and to be alerted when the next show come on. Marco says, PJ cool for liking blitzing and stuff. He says, PJ cool for liking blitzing and stuff, but not coverage. I agree. Let's see. Sad Scott says, any rule changes such as kickoffs, etc. John, who that to you, John? Any rule changes to kickoffs and etc. and stuff? Not too much on that. I think everything pretty much the same as what it was last year. They were thinking about making some changes, but they kept it basically what it was last year. So no major big changes to talk about. Cam and Dev have about the same upside. We could use a third guy to shore the position. Just don't break the bank for him. Thank you, School. Joe says, where can I find Big Q page? Or he says, and sign up. Where is it? Okay, the patreon.com/the PRO Media Network is in the description section, fam. So you go to the description section, scroll down, and you'll see the Patreon link, which is patreon.com/the Pro Media Network. It's located in the description section below the video, fam. Thank you. All right. John says, oh no, Big Q, Dietrich Nichols got let go. I was hoping to see him compete in camp. I know. Scoop says, if Sheldon comes back on fire, he's only auditioning for his next team. He will bring a chip. Thank you for that. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think he'll be there as well. Cap says, Sheldon and Davenport are future stars, but we need them healthy. Scoop says, Q, the Eagles did not have dominant defensive ends and won the chip. It was a deep D-line in general. Yeah, you're right. They had a lot of talented people. Vinny Curry and all kind of people was on that line, and they played well enough to do it. And I hear what you're saying, that we could probably recreate that success. I hope so. Jason says, hey, Q, I was talking about this today. If we could find just one owner of the NFL, MLB, and NBA to put their players on hydrochloroquine, zinc, and Z-Packs and see how many players get sick afterwards. I hear you, Jason. The attorney general said that, man. The attorney general of the country said that. He said that same thing that you're saying about it. And there were the doctors that talked about it as well. So a lot of people don't understand that. That's a part of the misinformation that's out there. It's a shame, man. It's a shame. But it shows you how rotten and underhanded the press is, man. Not only the press, but these media operations and how dangerous this is. That most of these people, like, they can shape opinion. They can shape and guide and shape your opinion and your children's opinion. And that's dangerous. People don't understand that, man. You know, you got to shut them people down when they realize, and they just move over into windows. They just move it incrementally right past you. But there's a lot of truth out here. Just don't go looking for it on the television. I keep telling people that. Tell lies visually. Tell lie vision. They tell you. Tell lie vision. It's tell lie vision. Tell lie vision means to tell lies to you visually. That's what it means. And I keep telling people that. Turn it off, because you're not going to get informed. You're going to get misinformed. Everything is topsy-turvy land. It's like bizarro land up there. You see all that foolishness running around, and then everybody think it's just the people doing it. And most of the people being manipulated on top. They don't want to talk about it. They don't have that conversation, though. But it's a part of the game. That's why I said tell live vision, turn the goddamn thing off, because it ain't teaching you nothing. It's just breaking people apart, causing them to fuss at each other, hurt each other, cuss at each other, tear each other down. And then you still getting poisoned by the same stuff they putting in that man water, they putting it in your water. You still getting miseducated over here. The same stuff he getting miseducated, you getting taught it. But you're going to point at this dude, we're going to point at that dude, and it's really the dude at the top in his little group doing all this in here, messing around, laughing at you, sprinklers. Man, it's the oldest trick in the world. I've been trying to tell people about that. It's never the guy next door, or the guy up the street, or your neighbor, or the guy you work with. It's never that. It's you, them guys, the real people that control stuff is at the top. And like the scriptures call them, what they call them, how does it phrase it? And what it calls it? Invisible. I forgot the term biblically. Derek might be able to help me on that term. But they call them in the scriptures. I'm gonna say this, but we got some religious minded people. Y'all fix me in the chat if I say it wrong. But it says to the degree that you're going against dark. Y'all know where I'm coming from with this one too, because y'all, when I said it, y'all knew. We going through dark forces and what, municipalities or principalities in dark places. Throw that chat in there for me. Throw that damn quote up in there for me. Roll that out, because that's truth. That's truth talk. Do you not understand how old this place is? Do you not understand? I'm talking about this planet and all this stuff been here for a very long time. Very long time. This old. They got a lot of information out there. They try to keep you in a bubble. They try to keep you thinking in the bubble. And I'm going to get back to my Saint talk, but I'm talking life right now. I'm talking life right now. And the life is turn that junk off. Turn it off if it ain't teaching you nothing, because most of the time it ain't. We use it for entertainment purpose, but to learn something, hell no. You turn that off, man. You ain't getting nothing there. True, I'm telling you the truth. You ain't learning nothing there, man. Most of them people, they Satanists anyway, operating up there at the higher level, and they slowly, maturely turning things against you. Most people not religious. And I'm not really a religious person, but I'll tell you what, I'm a life person. I'll tell you what I know. I'll tell you what I see, baby. I'll tell you what I witness, baby. And this more than just people fighting for money. How they fighting for money and they print the money? They got the machines. How much money you gonna tell? Well, they don't have to even print the money. They put zeros in the computer now, man. It's not about money. It's always been about control. And it's on high is a lot higher than that, man. So read something, get into the books, read some stuff, and get empowered by it. I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you. All right, let's keep it going. Paul says, hey, Big, how many INTs do you think the motor mouth Jenkins will get? I mean, maybe 3 or 4 of them if he plays. 3 or 4 of them would be good enough, Uncle Paul. You know, I think that's probably what it is. Scoop says, Q, not for nothing, but the Falcons are making low-key power moves. They are. I got to give you the Falcons up. The Falcons ain't playing either now. Int My Ninja says, I feel Benny Fowler have the potential to make the roster. I agree with you there, bro. I definitely agree with you. I agree with you. Paul, let's see. Dimitri, who that to you, Dimitri? Rush Hour, he said, what up, Q? Drop in. He says, just dropping in, I think. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Appreciate you. Scoop says, Q, does Derek get that slap of the night after? Nah, Derek, my boy, man. We ain't going to do the dad slap on Derek, bro. We're going to keep it real. Rush Hour says some players will opt out. Do you think this will happen? It's possibly, bro. It's possible. It's possible. We had 2 guys, the 2 tight ends, but that was a decision. I think they weren't going to make the team anyway. You know, they would have probably been 2 of the guys that would have got cut the first 80, man. I'm just keeping it real. They probably made a business decision. That's what it was, to get on up out of there. I'm not mad at them, but it is definitely possible that, well, by August the 4th, they're saying, and we'll still maintain to see by that date, although they did say they were going to move it up, and today is the 3rd. So tomorrow is the 4th. Official to be said. So we'll know exactly what's going on. But if we don't hear anything between now and then I think we'll be fine. But Malcolm Jenkins, I definitely think will play. Or we'd have heard something by that by now. So we'll see. We'll continue to monitor it. Thanks for your question. Okay, let's keep it going there. Rush Hour says some players will opt out. Okay, I'm sorry, Rush Hour. Thank you for that. I just read that. Dada says that's the last thing he said. He want to call in so he can talk after we told him the lines were down. I knew that he was trying to be slick. Okay, who you guys talking about? The rich dude? Did one of my heavy-handed moderators get to him? Is that what's going on here? Did the moderators touch upon, or was that what's going on? I seen deletion. Usually I see that the moderator might have got to him. Let's see. Let's keep it going. Sean said that's why I don't trust any of them on cable TV. Wait and watch. Hey, bro. I keep telling y'all, them people are not gonna spend all that money and put a message to empower you with nothing. And then they're creating it's so much, man, because we so gullible. And it's a shame, man. It's a shame, because we thinking everybody got our best interests in mind, in heart. And it's not like that. It's such a shame. You know, if I can give you anything, I could talk to you about Saints all day. That's what I do. But if I really did give a damn about you, I wouldn't tell you something that would help you. I would tell you to read something. I would tell you something about life that I learned outside of Saint Talk. And I think that's why a lot of people resonate with the Sports Coma and myself, because it's human. You know, it's more than just prattling about the Saints, and we love our team, no doubt about it. But that love is then shared among other things. We got a lot of commonalities and differences. That's the beautiful thing about it. We're not a cult, meaning that you don't have to believe everything we say 100% to be a part of it. No. We accept your commonalities as well as your differences. It don't matter who you are, how you think. If you're respectable, we can have a conversation. We could sit down and talk about a lot of stuff. That's my thought process on many things in this world, because I understand that to agree, we all the creator's children. And the only people trying to tell the people apart are people that's trying to dominate and control the people. If I can get you to understand that, if I can get you to understand that, really take it inside of yourself and make it a part of you, then that's a win right there. And ain't nothing they can do to tear you apart. If you stand together strong, they can't separate you, divide you, and do nothing to you, because the first thing they can do to conquer you, they got to rip you apart. And the way to do that is to focus on your differences and not your commonalities. I'm speaking truth talk now. That's how the demons do it every time. And we fall for it by like a bunch of chumps every time. Like a bunch of chumps every time. We go right down every time. Every time. And we got to understand that, man. We got to understand that. All right, let's keep it going. Paul says, power of darkness, principalities and rulers of darkness. Dark place. That's key to it. Who got it? That's close to it, Brother Paul. That sounds like it. But Derek, what you got? I know Derek knows it. Let's see. We war not against flesh, but spirits and spiritual wickedness in high places. There it is. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, man. That's it right there. We war not against flesh. What does that mean, man? War not against flesh, but against spirits and spiritual wickedness in high places. So you're fighting against the man next door or up the street. It's a spiritual one, because the things that's going on with people is a spiritual one. These are demon-possessed people, man, that have sold themselves over to the dark energies of this planet that been here for years, for eons, for a very long time. That's why they only want to traffic in the trading of souls. They don't want nothing. They give you all this other fake stuff in the world, but they want your soul. Why is it always what you want, my soul? Because they don't have one. They want what you have because that's what God bless you with. But most of us are not teaching that. But I'm saying that to most people to understand that, man, because we all people, we all human here. If you don't know that, you're apt to fall into it. All right, thank you for that. Tanker 12 says called brainwash. Thank you, fam. No doubt about it. JT said the Falcons are trying to stay up with the Saints. They try as they may. Derek says, for we wrestle not, see, Derek put it in that. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places, baby. High places. Spiritual wickedness. We talking about little old men, evil old men, who see the world in a demonic lens. Demon-possessed old men that been sold their souls long ago for the money of this world, but then realize that they created a hell for themselves because then they realized that it is fraudulent and fake and that you had it all the way old. See, it's a counterfeit system, baby. See, like the Reverend tell you, it's a counterfeit system that they try to sell you here. That's why they make the money, the fake toilet paper money, put zeros in the computer. And try to say that this is mine, but I give it to you if you can get down with me in this club here. But the truth is matters once they join it, that they understand that they can't give you nothing because they don't control nothing. This belongs to you already. The Most High already turned it over to you, and you got to ask for it. You have to ask for it to be granted. The Creator not going to put nothing in your hands if you're not asking for it. He's not going to tell you or show you something you're not ready for. You got to be ready, baby. And you got to mean what you say. And when you're ready, then it'll be given to you. Only then. It's almost like a person asking for something and they got their hands closed. What am I going to give you if your hands is like this? What am I going to give you? Whatever I'm going to give you is going to fall out of your hands. You got to open up and be ready to receive, baby. This old knowledge, old thinking, man. Commonsensical stuff. Anyway, that's the Reverend, baby. The Reverend gonna tell you, baby. That's how it go, baby. I told you, baby, a while ago, baby. I told you, baby, that if they can't accept you as who you are, baby, that's not the place for you, baby. If they got to try to turn and twist you, baby, and alter you and make you color your hair, baby, and make you talk and walk and act a different way than what you already are, baby, that's not the place for you, baby. You don't belong there, baby. That's the Reverend coming at you. That's the Reverend dropping that truth on you. Thank you. Appreciate you, Derek. Thank you, rest of the family members. Y'all hit on it. There you go, Scoops. Yeah, Jermaine said it, 612. Look that up, man. Get a bang out of real. That's powerful, man. That's powerful stuff there. My mom always mentioned that quick. That's why I brought it to me. She said that to me a while ago, and that always stuck with me for wasn't read, because that's valid today, baby. Telling y'all. Anyway, let's keep it going. Paul said, hey, Big Q, can the league start a Roger Goodell retirement. He ain't going nowhere. You make him too much money. Jamie says, who that Q? Benny Fowler made a roster. I was to see him play on the field. Yeah, I think, Jamie, who that to you? Good to see your family. Yeah, Benny Fowler, I think, is gonna do some stuff. I made the point on the other show is that he is going into his 7th year. He won a Super Bowl back with the Denver Broncos, and he's the most experienced wide receiver you have, not named Emmanuel Sanders. Been in the league for 7 years. Now, albeit that it wasn't an impactful or a productive years, you know what I'm saying? He had it was okay. But when you got a guy with that kind of speed, and he's an okay catcher of the ball, but the Saints see something in him. You know, they see something in him. We're going to keep an eye on him. Thank you, Jamie. Elite Goods, what up, fam? Good to see you in the chat as well. Sad Scott says it's funny how the Bucks go sign McCoy when they see the Saints sign Bradham. Bucks playing a chess match, bring it on Bucks. They're trying to they're trying to beat the Saints. Remember, I called all that out some time ago, bro, about the Bucks and what they're doing. I read the statistics showed the Bucks haven't been in the playoffs since 2007. They haven't won a playoff game since 2002. They haven't been to the playoffs since 2007. Newsflash, it's 2020. So they've been stinking up the joint. So don't expect me to think that they're going to be anything. He got a big culture of losing and overcome. And I know you Tom Brady and everything, but Tom Brady can't win by himself. I like McCoy, but McCoy is an older McCoy. Gronkowski has been out of the league for some time. So he's going to take these guys some time to get going, man. We already rolling, baby. So you're going to see. All right, let's keep it going. All right, thank you for that. Scoop says, if Tino Ellis can't make the squad this year, I will donate Dada's money. Dada says, oh, no, you won't. Elise says, 02. That's right, 02. Man, that's absolutely insane, bro. That's insane, man. You know? That's insane. Them guys ain't been. That's how pathetic they've been all them years. But anyway, family, I would love to keep going on with y'all family today on this one here. I appreciate y'all, man, for all that y'all done. But I just came to speak to y'all guys on this Monday. I would have chimed in a little bit earlier. My show was originally set for, I think, either 3 or 4 o'clock. I forget. It's 4 o'clock, I think it was, maybe 3. But we had the entire damn network was down, and it just came up maybe a few minutes before I fired up the stream. And it's been behaving okay thus far. But, you know, hopefully we won't have no more issues. You know, I know a lot of people been telling me they'd be having issues, but we're going to keep doing it regardless, man. We're going to keep rolling. Nothing going to stop us from doing what we're doing, baby. So I just appreciate y'all for joining me today. I'm going to run my little old commercials now and let people know about the Pro Shop. If you want to support the platform, you can feel free to go to the Pro Shop and pick you up a jazzy new t-shirt. We got over 40 different styles of shirts built, Drew Orleans tough. We have the new hat that I'm currently wearing, which is the Drew Orleans hat in camouflage. It comes in black or camouflage. It's embroidered, to be honest with you. It comes with it in different colors and sizes. And of course, you can feel free to go to the Pro Shop. Over 40 different selections of, man, coffee mugs, smartphone cover cases. I mean, dozens of products, hundreds of products, all available between 2 different shops. And I think we're going to put a third one online coming up real soon. We got a lot going on here. Also, to let the family members know about the Pro Media Networks, Pro Radio, which is available at Pro Radio or Spreaker.com/thesportscoma, Spreaker.com/thesportscoma. The links for everything I'm telling you guys are in the description section, including the Patreon, the Cash App, the PayPal, if you want to donate via that way. All that's available. And also, this is the ad for it. Become a patron of the show by donating $1 a month or $5 a month to build a platform. Patreon.com/the PRO Media Network. It's Patreon.com/the PRO Media Network. And remember that once you join the YouTube member, you become a YouTube member. You'll have access to TSC Q&A Live, which is a show we do every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. We got one coming up tomorrow. We'll cover all kind of topics. We'll take family members' calls, but it's visual. People can actually get on there and be seen. It's pretty fun, man. It's real cool. Remember, family, I got most of y'all in here now. Remember, it's 6 o'clock tomorrow now, 6 o'clock Central Time, TSC Q&A Live, okay? All right. And then, of course, the other show, On Q with Big Q, which is our news and entertainment and real show, we do that through Patreon. So if you want to become a member and get that special content, go patreon.com/the PRO Media Network to get that as well. And of course, my final commercial that I'm going to run at you guys, of course, Life Mask. A lot of stuff going on in the world right now. If you feel like you need a mask, you can go to getlifemask.com. They have 3 different versions of it. The LSU mask for our Tiger fans, it's adjustable. You can see the straps right there. And the Saints mask and the Pelicans mask are available. In as you can see, you can wear it, you put on. It's very easy to wear. It adjusts. It's durable. You can wash them, and then it comes with a filter. The filter that lasts. The PM2.5 filter, which you slide inside the pocket of the mask, and it lasts for 3 months. So if you want a mask, go to getlifemask.com. Put in the code The Sports Coma to get 10% off on the purchase. So like I said, family, if somebody's gonna do something, I always make sure I give you a discount. But like I said, family, if you like the brim, family, this is the Drew Orleans hat. It's the Drew Orleans hat in camouflage. It had it in solid. We have it in solid black as well. I don't think I have the black one. The black one is in my other room. But the camouflage joint is very nice and it's adjustable. You can adjust it. This is embroidered. This is not paint stamp. It's embroidered. It comes with the PRO Media Network Pro apparel patch on the side of it. So it's pretty cool, baby. So you're going to be seeing me rocking my Drew Orleans hat. Pretty slick, man. Pretty clever, pretty nice. So if you want to get you one, feel free to go to our pro shop. The link is in the description section below and catch you one. And I'll knock you off a discount on one of the pro shops. You can go there, get a mask and stuff like that, 10% off with the code Stay Strong. So much love to the great family members joining in. Rest of y'all, thank y'all for joining us. Much love to you, family. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Y'all be safe out there. I love y'all. Keep it real to your family. Listen, we talk Saints in here, family, but listen, that's what make the Sports Coma and the Great Saint Thing team so great. We talk life in here, baby. Because we're going to talk about more than just the Saints, just to veer off just a little bit, baby, and keep it real about life. Because I cannot talk to you about football and we talk about football players, but not talk about people. And people make up with the football players and their mentality. But we're going to keep it real here. If somebody asks me some real stuff, I'm not going to shoot you away or play games with you. I'm going to answer it to the best of my ability. So please feel free to understand that. That's what makes us different than most people. We keep it real here, baby. We keep it real 100%, real deal, Holyfield, baby. That's something the Reverend would say. We keep it real deal, Holyfield here, baby. Real deal, baby. Who that? I appreciate the family, man. Much love to y'all. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. I shall see y'all later. Peace to the family. Who that to you? Y'all be safe out there, man. And go Pelicans.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. #1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons. We won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the Sports Coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is say Super Bowl.